moving into the second half of this first day of Super Week. And the Fish Show has joined me here along with Candy Panda from SK Gaming. Candy Panda, on a hot streak, but going into a team that's placed last, still it didn't go ideal for you guys. And you told me that you weren't happy with your game. Why is that?
Well, our game as a team was probably fine, but for me personally, it was really bad. This week in scrims, especially in training, I don't know, I just lost my form. I guess it's like, maybe not normal, but there will always be like those weeks where you just don't perform, and I did it this week, and yeah, I'm really sad. I died twice in lane, was not good.
Well, sticking to the lane thing, you had issues against Kraton and Juri, gave up a few kills. What is it with the lane phase? Is it because Tristana is very strong in the lane, or is it just you not playing properly?
Right, I think it's not the lane. I don't think it's the Tristana and Trash. I think I just lost the flow of the game, you could say it like that. I have to refine it again. I don't think it's a Tristana, even though they had the potential to snowball the lane. Because if you get caught once and you have to use your flash, the next hook will be even more deadly. So.
Yeah, but your lane partner luckily didn't use lose the flow of the game, because in Rated he stacked up all the kills. Is there somewhere inside you that you're like, please stop taking all these kills? How am I ever going to get in this game? Does that go through your head?
Oh no, I don't mind. I think with some patches ago they improved the assist goal, so that's okay.
Well, looking at the game then itself, it was a very long game. You guys played it very careful, looking from, at least from our point of view. You never really got into a big fight where you weren't in your favor. And you just waited for them to move around, and then you went to the turrets. Take me through how the whole late game tactic for you guys.
Yeah, so first of all, since I died twice in lane, I didn't have the pressure I normally do on bot lane. Normally we can always push up and keep diving them with Panda and Annie. But this game we didn't have it, so it's harder. It also was harder because they had Ziggs. Whenever we try to rotate, he could just ult. So normally what you do versus Ziggs, you go 1-3-1, like you go 1 top lane, 3 mid lane, and 1 bottom lane. Split push him, because he can't clear all the lanes at once. But since Shyvana late game outscales the Renekton, we couldn't do that really. And also, if I would go bottom or Lulu would go bottom, the Eve had an easy gank on the one who's alone bottom. So we had to be creative, we had to like out-rotate them as 5. When Ziggs wasn't around, we could go bottom on top, get the tower. And then we tried really hard to bait at Nashor, because that was like the only option we had left.
Did you at any point then in the game kind of feel that time is running out because of this late game combo from Millenium? Were you scared that you just start losing the team fights, or how was that going on?
Right, so the more the game goes on, like I pressed tab and I looked at Shana's items, and every time I pressed it, I was like, oh my god, she has Last Whisper now. She has Infinity Edge now. We should like get going, you know. Also because Ziggs scales really well into the late game too, and Shyvana as well. So I was like, we better close it out soon. But I didn't panic. I just kept it in my mind, but it was still okay.
With your Vayne banned out and them going for the Tristana, how does Jinx match up as a late game AD carry? And if you could have chosen again at the end of the game, would you maybe have gone for another AD carry?
I might have went for Sivir if I could have chosen, but that's easy to say because after the game it's always easy. But in the game itself, it was like Jinx was good because at first I wanted to pick Lucian. I hovered over him for like 30 seconds, but then I realized that we had Lulu and they had no threat for me. They had like Tristana and Ziggs who won't attack me, and Eve and Shyvana can kill me if Lulu ults me or protects me. So I went for Jinx. Even though it's riskier, it does more damage in the late game.
And we didn't even talk about this whole pick and ban phase, which we normally start out talking about. It seemed to me you got pretty much every single pick you guys wanted, like the favorite champion for everyone all the way down. Do you feel the same way, or do you actually feel Millenium maybe had a just as good comp, or maybe even a better comp?
I think Millenium picked a bit weird. I think the Eve second pick is reasonable, but the Ziggs first pick confused me a bit. He got nerfed and, well, it's like not so effective anymore, I would say. So we got picks we are comfortable with, yeah. I mean, we had some stuff to fall back on, but these were good picks for us, where we can like create a good comp out of.
So finally, about that game, you said you weren't happy with your performance at all, but Super Week has just begun, so you're going to have to reboot from that one. How do you plan on doing that? Is it something that we can mediate from day 1 to day 2?
You can do certainly some stuff. First of all, I will probably just spam the whole night solo queue, just play like 20 games. Well, not 20 literally, but a lot of games. And then I also think it's like a mental thing, where I'm like a bit scared. I don't want to let my team like alone 4v5 because they're all playing really great and I'm like the only one underperforming. So yeah, I think it's a mental thing too. So I will look into that.
Don't play 20 games. You won't be here on time tomorrow in that case. But, congratulations once again. And at the top of the show, guys, we asked you to sound off on Twitter and tell us which European team do you think will benefit the most this Super Week and why? And here are a few of your answers. The first one is from Atelier2. I think Fnatic can benefit the most from Super Week. They have a favorable schedule that they can build momentum with. And even though they lost, they didn't play bad at all.
Not at all. I mean, Copenhagen Wolves, great team at the moment. Losing to them is not a bad thing. And Fnatic actually looked very strong. So I think going into the next game for them, keep the confidence up, get a win, and they can actually really use this Super Week to show how good they are as a team.
Sure thing. The second one is from Abhes2. SK needs to keep their role going. A good Super Week takes the pressure off for the rest of the season, and they can prepare for playoffs. Are you thinking that much ahead already?
No. We just go by game to game. And especially since I'm actually scared of the Super Week because I'm like, okay, if I don't perform this game, then the other 3 games might be just as bad. And the team gets better and better. Like we play Fnatic, Gambit, and Rocket. It's like, you know, I perform like the worst in this week, and then this week we have 4 games, so that might be bad. So I have to look into that. Yeah.
Not scary teams at all. Oh.
I was going to say though, you're actually doing a good job, so you could be a little bit easier on yourself.
Yeah. The last one is from @LCrisps or LCrisps. Alliance will benefit from Super Week. It gives them a chance to string together a few wins and get some consistency.
Should I answer that?
Yeah.
I think Alliance is a bit two-edged sword. I think from what we see from them is mostly the Sivir Wukong combo that really works for them. But I hope they have like something else prepared because if they play 4 games with the same comp, it's not going to work. Like latest after the second game, people will realize that that's what they're going to play. So if people run that out and they have to play like 2 more games for something they didn't train, then it could be bad. But if they have something else in store, I think they can really do good this week, yeah.
Well, we'll see if they have something else in store in a second, of course. Thank you so much for those tweets. And remember that you can tweet to us @LOL Esports and use the hashtag LCS to chat with your fellow fans. Thank you very much, Candy Panda. Congratulations once again. And now we're going to teleport over to Joe and QuickShot for our next